Summertime slowly fades away.
Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is our top 10 favorite books. This was really hard to do because we had to narrow down all the books we've read. We're really optimistic about the books we've read, so basically all of them we love. But this is just to give you the gist of what type of books we like to read and see if you relate to us. So comment down below your top, at least your top 3, because our top 3 are really good. Really good. Wait to the end to see this. We should just get into it. So number 10 is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a classic that's almost not a classic because it's such a page turner. It's romance, a thriller. It's kind of eerie. Tolerated by Taylor Swift was written based off Rebecca, so that will kind of give you an idea of the vibe of the book. And the whole book is introduction to classics, kind of like you can really just, it's attainable. And the writing is obviously really beautiful. It's set in this coastal rural mansion. I would recommend reading it like fall or October, maybe, to get those spooky vibes. 9 is Lord of the Rings series, which is just such an immersive series. You really get involved with the characters, the mission. I feel like everyone knows about this series. Every homeschooler loves this series. It's really daunting, don't get me wrong. Like, look at that. A lot of words. A lot of tiny words. But it took me a long time to finish. If you have a lot of time, you should definitely read the series, and it will be worth it because J.R.R. Tolkien is just insane. He came up with this entire world, this language. There's a map of this whole Middle Earth, and basically stepping into Middle Earth when you read this, because everything's so descriptive that you can just like, you can smell the grass. It feels like you're on the journey. You're eating 11 with them. Another series we recommend, The Chronicles of Narnia. That's C.S. Lewis's fantasy series, and Narnia is just such a warm, it's like my comfort series. It's like an oasis that you can just step into, and it's much easier than Lord of the Rings. It's like a children's series. Pretty blatantly paralleled with the Bible. It makes it hit home even more. Yeah, how they describe Aslan, like Jesus, and how much love Jesus has for you is really shown through the characters in this book. The whole book just appeals to like your inner child, innocence and wholesome self. The next one that we have on here is Anne of Green Gables series. All the sisters, especially me and Chella and Emma, all have like an attachment to Anne of Green Gables. We've particularly watched the 1980s version. That show is so good. But the books have even more depth in them, like so many stories, and they really develop Anne and her art. One of our favorite ones is Rill of Ingleside and Anne of the Island. I don't really go into these that much because you should just read them if you want to know more about them. Basically, Montgomery is my favorite author. She's really good at describing nature and relationships, beauty, pure, wholesome goodness. She basically invented romanticizing your life. It's so inspiring. So if you're maybe at a darker place right now, you want to live your spirits, Anne of Green Gables is a great place to be. Not only because it's just so beautiful and the writing is really great, but also Anne is just such a funny, interesting character. Next, we have like separate ones here, which are like coming of age girly stories. Mine is the Marcy Rhodes series by Rosamund Dujardin. This is a 50s series, so it has all those 50s vintage, like, oh, just going to the car hop to get a milkshake and a burger and hanging out with my friends, and then like friends to lovers. Also, I just really love these books because it's just fun, carefree, cute. Like, just listen to Starlight by Taylor Swift. Yeah, that really portrays. And then mine is Betsy and Tacy, which is set in like the early 1900s. It follows Betsy and Tacy from when they're young children to when they're getting married. So you really just form a bond with these characters and with their town. Friendships as coming of age, high schoolers, fun. It's just, honestly, I was like living vicariously through her when I was reading these books. They're really just like girlish, fun. This is number 4. So we have this one, and then we're gonna go into our top 3. This little book here, My Daily Bread. This is a daily reflection book. Every day you get a reflection. It has 3 parts. God talking to you, what you should be thinking about, and then what you should be praying about that day. And it's like your spiritual director in a book. God is going to speak through this book to you. It really just makes you deepen your spiritual life, get to know yourself, get to know God, and kind of confront yourself and be like, where is my spiritual life? What's my mission? Like, it really puts in front of you, like, this is what life is actually about. This is the formula for being a saint. Do it. It's not that hard. It kind of makes it more attainable. All you have to do is these little things, and you can get closer to God. You can perfect what life is actually about, which is know, loving, and serving God and getting into heaven. So if you're Catholic or Christian and you just want to love Jesus more, you want to deepen your spiritual life, I highly recommend this book. Top 3. Number 3 is My Daughter of the Nile by Eloise Jarvis McGraw. This was required reading in 6th grade, believe it or not. I have thought about this book
Ever since
so
then.
much.
I was like, I need to read this book again because why am I always thinking about it?
Yeah.
And it was just as good as I remember it. It's Padme and Anakin on Naboo in
Meets
Attack of the Clones.
Aladdin, the live action version. Like,
Yeah.
that's the vibes that it gives me.
Yeah, it's like
It's so beautiful.
political intrigue of Egyptian times and
Espionage,
enemies to lovers,
forbidden lovers.
Like
if this is not a vibe that you like, I don't know
I don't
what
know
is.
you. And
It's
even
so-
our brother read it and he loved it, and then we read it, we love it. We just lent it to our cousin. That's why we don't have it here.
non-stop action, just the entire time. It's really beautiful, right? One of those books that really gets you into the world.
Yeah,
gets you
it's
to know the
nonstop, just like,
characters.
oh, what's gonna happen next?
I don't want to say too much. I really just think you should read this book.
Second book is so good. It is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. This book, I guarantee you will love this book. No matter what age, no matter if you're a
my
boy or a
mom
girl.
recommended it to my mom, my dad, my sister.
They've all read it. They've all loved it. It touches you to your
It's
inner
set in World War
core.
II.
It's told through the point of view of a 11-year-old young girl, so it's really like the purity in this time of just corruption and how the war affects the whole world. It doesn't just affect a small group of people, it affects everyone.
It's so heart-wrenching, so beautiful, and
And just like the underlying
Just reading.
theme of books, I feel like it's just appropriate for this video.
our favorite book ever is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton.
I love this. Love this book.
I both read it multiple times. I want to read it every year because it's so good.
It has so many lines in it that are really relatable. To tell you the premise, it's showing like the sensitive side of a gang
It's
and
the greasers and the socials, so like East Side, West Side gangs,
Classes.
different classes.
and how everyone can
the boys.
still relate through their pain, and innocence can be found even in the darkest of places and times. And it's just beautiful, and I love it. And every single character has their own
arc. There's so much arc in this.
I'm telling you right now, you need to read that book. If you are not a reader, especially, you'll finish this in like a
finish
day.
this, like, one of the times you read it, and I
Right.
just like sat on my bed and read the entire thing in one sitting. Like this friendship that you get to have with these characters. Not to mention that the movie is iconic. It has every single
Tom
80s actor
Cruise,
ever.
Emilio Estevez, Patrick Swayze.
Ralph Macchio. Literally everyone who's famous in the 80s is in this movie, so just go watch it. It's really good, but first read the book because the book is even better.
The top 3, you specifically have to read those, but all of these books are good. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Hope you got some recommendations. Hope you got to know us a little more through our
Book taste. Comment down below what you think of them if you've read them before, and comment down below your top 3 books or even your top 10. I want to get to know you through your book taste, and yeah, let's just chat about books in the comments. We're really stocking up footage right now, so we're going to be posting a lot.
So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye!
Summertime slowly fades away.